What's going on, man? It's your boy Wise. I'm back. Um, Shout out my dog Reek and Swag. Um, so I'm probably do two videos this week. This is more so just my thoughts on the game after reviewing some of the film. Still got to take a full breakdown, but I know I told you I was gonna bring the film breakdown back, so probably moving forward, I'm gonna do two videos. Like one, my thoughts, and then the other one is gonna be, all the technical stuff, looking at different plays on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Some of the good and bad, man. Um, but without further ado, let's get into it. So I will say overall that I'm happy. Um, I do not think the defense played the best game they could have played by far, but the fact that every time we needed an answer, the offense came through. Like there was never any doubt in my mind that, like, I never felt like the game was in jeopardy. Every time Louisville, closed the gap, like we answered. Um, but let's get into the offensive side of the ball. So overall, I thought the O line did pretty well in pass protection. Um, just from watching the UAB game to now, um, Louisville overall has speed, offense and defense. And I felt like UAB, like our tackles were like getting whooped a little too much for me, and not even like in a strength, like not like they're weak, but Campbell and Williams, I felt like UAB was just running around them at times. Um, Pass protection seemed pretty good, like pretty much the whole game. I think they gave up one sack officially or whatever, but just overall, not many pressures allowed. Yeah, I know King was scrambling around some, but according to PFF, the O line allowed zero pressures. The pressures either came from like Cam Harris or Brevin blocking or Mallory or I think Rooster. So they didn't credit the O line with any of the pressures, which is crazy. But the O line played fairly well. Actually, they played well, not fairly. They played well from the pass blocking perspective. Run blocking, I thought the O line had their moments where they did a hell of a job opening up certain holes and stuff like that. But overall, I would like to see them consistently make more holes and really just move folks. I don't even care if they don't make crazy holes, but I'm tired of seeing three or four people in the backfield. Like rather if we getting back to the, for no gain or a 1 or 2 yard loss. I'm tired of seeing two and three people gang tackle Cam Harris or Cheney or Knight. And it's like on some plays we're not getting any push. And maybe, and part of it too is we run inside zone so much that some of these teams, they're literally just trying to stop the inside zone. And I saw earlier somebody was like, well, maybe that's Lashley playing to do inside zone, and he never wants to get caught in the backfield. But if it's gonna be, a 3 yard gain, a 4 yard gain, cool, because sooner or later you're gonna pop one for 50 plus. Because they either gonna be expecting the inside zone and they're gonna crash down hard, or we're gonna end up doing something to basically set them up and play on their eyes and their mind from what they've been seeing. So that's like a two-part. But on the 75-yard run for Cam, though, what the offensive line did was brilliant, and I'll show it in the film breakdown. But it was pretty amazing. But yeah, I'd like to see more consistency. But the O line didn't look bad at all, even in the run blocking. I mean, it wasn't good, but I mean, I'll accept it for sure. We still ended up having 160 yards rushing, and De'Aaron really didn't have any. He stood in the pocket most of the game. He made some NFL throws, the on the run one to Harley. was a dime. That was an NFL throw. The back shoulder, or yeah, technically back shoulder to Mallory. Everybody wanted to know why he didn't throw it on the front side because he wasn't supposed to. Yeah, he threw it in the open window. But that one was pretty impressive. And there were a couple of others too. But one thing I will say is King didn't get flustered on third down. We were 6 of 13. I want to say we had six or seven third and longs, which typically you don't want those. And I want to say we converted on like 5 out of 7 that were like 10 yards plus, which is crazy because anything over 3rd and 8 like is usually a nightmare for most offenses or whatever. But overall, I thought King played a great game. Um, Obviously, he was 18 for 30, 325, 3 TDs, no picks. Out of the 12 incompletions, half of those were drops, i.e., via Mike Harley and Mark Pope. I don't really know what to say about Harley dropping those passes. He had a pretty shitty game, in my opinion, because he had 2 drops for sure. Obviously, the touchdown, he had another drop. I want to say he might have had 3. And I know Pope had 2 or 3. Obviously, the wide open went down the field. He dropped the 50-50 ball in the end zone. I'm going to chalk that up as a drop in my eyes because even if he would have possibly, like somebody was saying he was out of bounds or whatever, even if that was the case, bro, the ball hit him in the face mask, though. So it ain't like King didn't get the ball there or whatever. Rather, if he was in or out of bounds, you jump up on a 50-50 ball and it hits you in the face. Then Pope had another one on the sideline that, not the one where he was out of bounds. There was another sideline throw. I'm going to try to pull it up. He dropped that one. So that would technically be 2 for sure. The 50-50 ball, whatever. And then there was another ball that Pope dropped. So he had 10 targets, 4 catches, 3 drops for sure. 2 other questionable throws or whatever, but he just looked uncomfortable, bro. He makes everything harder than what it needs to be, and I don't understand what the fuck he's doing. Props to King because he kept going to him, but I didn't like what I saw from any of the wide receivers, actually. It's like Wiggins wasn't even there. Harley played like shit. Pope played like shit. And King still had 325. Shout out to Brevin Jordan. He did the shit that I expect Brevin Jordan to do, even without the 47-yard or 50-yarder or whatever. He was still good. Like, he still was having a good game. Lashley got him involved early. Shout out Will Mallory. I know he only had 1 catch on the books, I think, for like 17 yards and a touchdown. However, on that bullshit false start call they called on Scaife, Mallory, because the play was still live for everybody else. And bro went, what? It's a 74-yard catch that was called back. He caught it and got the eating on Louisville fuck ass. Like, that shit was crazy, bro. Like, he low-key went crazy on that play. That's the type of stuff I expect from him. But with that being said, I know it was just 1 catch, but I watched him and he played pretty well, and I think the moment isn't too big for him. I think he's used to being, in the games now and stuff. So I expect him and Brevin to lead the offense because unless Jeremiah Payton do it from the way it's looking right now, unless it's a freshman, we finna have a long year at receiver, dog. That was Pope, Harley, and Wiggins' perfect chance because they were the guys for sure, because Peyton didn't play. So it wasn't Peyton taking snaps. Nah, like, they got hella snaps and they didn't do shit. Chaney is going to be special. Him and Rooster for sure. That play where Chaney was streaking down the sideline, where King threw him that bomb, if he had ran to the right spot because King put it on the outside when the linebacker was guarding. First of all, he fast as shit. He was running fast as hell on that play. But if he knew where the ball was going to be and didn't have that freshman moment, that was another touchdown we left on the field too. Rooster scored twice. Obviously, he's, even if he don't get an easy catch like that, him and Chaney gonna be game breakers, dog. I didn't forget about Cam Harris. Shout out to Cam Harris. When we needed one, he got another one. He came through. The 75-yard run. Louisville. 3 Louisville players, I think, had angles on them. He burnt them all. Shit was crazy. Shout out Cam, man. That boy showed up to play. It was all business. He should be healthy this week for FSU. The kicker. We got a kicker, y'all. I don't need to go into it, and we got a kicker. 4 for 4. Boom, the 57-yarder that would have been good from 60 plus easily. On defense, I like the game that Blades played. He gave up some catches. Most of them were in zone. But Blades played a good game. He obviously caught the pick, but his level of confidence in him turning his head around, and he could have had another interception possibly, but his confidence is just way higher than Ivy's and or Couch's, in my opinion. But I thought Blades played a good game, man. I'm not mad at him for the couple of catches he gave up. Ivy wasn't on the field as much. He only played 33 snaps out of the 33. Probably 10 of them were special team snaps. So Ivy didn't play as much, but when he was in there, he looked better. It may be due to lower amount of plays, but he was getting hands on folks and stuff like that. Zach McLeod bounced back and actually had a good game. I know it wasn't perfect, and people are, oh, that wasn't a good game. It was better than that shit he put up last week against UAB. That was probably Zach's second best game as a Hurricane that he had against Louisville. I think what Twan said, Zach's best game, I think, was that the West Virginia bowl game. But Zach had a good game. I thought Bolden had a great game. I know a lot of people was mad at him for the catches he gave up against Tutu. Bruh, first of all, they should have never put Bolden on Tutu on any plays. Let's just get that out the way now. Like, I get it. He could have did a better job on the one where Tutu pushed off on him, but Bolden should have never been guarding Tutu Atwell one-on-one. I don't know what Blake Bakerton was thinking. And it didn't turn out disastrous. Tutu was going to get his anyway. But I don't know what they was thinking with that. That was stupid. However, on the tackling side, Bolden had 9 solo tackles, and at least 5 of those tackles he made where there was nobody else. Like, he came down, and if he had missed some of those, because the linebackers really weren't getting through how they needed to, that outside zone was low-key killing us. They was holding like shit. But even aside from the holding, just looking at some of the plays, they were stretching us further than I think we expected to be stretched. Like, they were stretching them plays damn near to the side, like all the way to the sideline. And I don't think we practiced chasing at those kind of angles. But I thought he played great. Some key tackles. Amari Carter had a solid game. I'm not going to rave about it. A stupid penalty, almost targeting. But overall, he did make a couple of pretty good tackles. I'm not going to lie. Both of the strikers played shitty. Roche and Phillips did their thing for sure. Harrison Hunt is the best DT on the team. Nestor definitely was out there making some good plays. I hope Gervin is okay. And overall, I'd probably give the coaching a B or B minus. And Blake Baker trash as shit.